start our consumer behavior analysis by explaining the laws of cardinal approach. In our last lesson, we were talking about what is cardinal approach. So, cardinal approach basically that deals with the consumer behavior, and it says that utility can be measured in terms of numbers. Utility is measurable, and what is the unit of measurement? That is units. And yesterday we were also talking about total utility and marginal utility. And total utility means the total satisfaction gained by the consumer after consuming all the units of a good within the same time period. And what is marginal utility? That is the additional utility of additional unit consumed within given time period. If time period varies, this cannot be had. So, cardinal approach in which utility can be measured in terms of numbers, it is going to take the help of the two laws. One law is called law of diminishing marginality, and the principle of equimarginality or law of equimarginality. Both these things will be used to explain the consumer behavior when utility is measurable in terms of numbers. So please recall your concept about marginal utility and total utility. We will be using them in order to explain this law. So here basically it is the law of diminishing marginality. Do you think it happens whenever you are consuming a commodity or a good of your own choice, as you are taking more units of the same commodity within same time, your satisfaction is also decreasing? Like you are taking first glass of water going to home, after reaching to home, what happens? That glass of water will give you more satisfaction than the second one. And if you are taking the third glass, so its satisfaction will be lower than the second one. So this is happening when consumer is consuming the successive units of a commodity. Therefore, the marginal utility or additional utility of every successive unit will be lower than the previous unit when this commodity is consumed within same time period. What I am saying? So when consumer is consuming the different units of the same commodity, same good within same time period, and the utility of money is also constant and its taste are not varying, they are also constant, then every successive unit will have lower marginal utility than the previous unit, or its marginal utility of every unit will be diminishing. Okay, so now I am writing it. When a consumer consumes the successive units of a good within same time period, what is happening? Every additional unit, every extra or additional unit will have lower marginal utility than the previous unit. Or it adds less to the total utility, every extra unit, or every extra unit will add less utility to the total utility. Or we say total utility is increasing but at decreasing rate. or we can say total utility is increasing but at decreasing rate. So these can be the different definitions of the law of diminishing marginality. Now I am going to use different numerics in order to explain this law of diminishing marginality. If you have written this, I will go ahead to use the different numbers in order to explain this law of diminishing marginality. Should I erase it?
Yes.
Now, for example, any rational consumer is going to consume different units of a commodity within same time period. How will its utility figures will be changing? So here I am taking the quantity, here it is the total utility, and here it is the marginal utility. Clear? So when he consumes 0 unit, his total utility is also 0. No satisfaction is there. So when he consumes the first unit, his total utility moves to 10. How much units of utility he or she is gaining? 10. So can I say this additional unit has increased by 10 marginal utility? Its marginal utility is 10. Now what about the second unit? Now the total utility goes to 18. How much is the additional utility? 8. So this second unit of commodities which is consumed within the same time period, this has added less to the total utility. The first glass, if he is consuming water, the first glass of water was giving 10 utility, marginal utility was 10, but the second glass of water is having lower satisfaction than the first one. So if he consumes the third glass of water, his total utility moves to 24. How much is the additional utility now? 6. So this is how we are saying the marginal utility is diminishing, or can I say the total utility is increasing but at decreasing rate? Although the number is increasing, but the rate of increment, that is decreasing. So if he consumes the fourth glass, here it is going to be 28, now it is additional utility is 4. At the fifth unit, it goes to 30. Here we find 2 marginal utility. At sixth unit, total utility does not change, now the additional utility is 0. Okay? When we say the consumer is satiated, satiation means what? G per A. We are fully satisfied. Okay? Our total utility is maximized. If he still consumes the extra unit, his total utility goes to 27. How much is the additional utility now? Minus 3. So this is called disutility. What it is? Disutility. And what do we mean by disutility? That means that now the additional unit, instead of adding to the total utility, it is going to create dissatisfaction to the consumer. You can say there is a food poisoning, there is going to be vomiting by the consumer, he cannot eat more than the 6 units, but still if he is consuming the 7 unit, that will create the disutility. Clear or not? How to calculate marginal utility? I gave you explanation yesterday. This is the change in total utility due to change in quantity. Clear? How to get total utility? By adding the marginal utility. Like if we add up these 2 marginal utilities, we will get the total utility of the 2 units. If we further add, we will get the total utility of third unit. Clear? So what law of diminishing marginality is explaining? It says that within the same time, if time period is not constant, it is changing, then this law cannot be held. It only works during the fixed time period. So when consumer is consuming every successive unit, his total utility is increasing, but marginal utility will be diminishing. it decreases, and it happens whatever the good we are consuming, as we are consuming more of it, its satisfaction for every extra unit will be lower than the previous one. Okay, now I am going to draw the diagrams of total utility and marginal utility. Now see, here we are taking quantity and here it is total utility. So what is happening to the total utility? Then it increases, going to maximum point, then start declining. Clear? Now can you see it's what is happening to its slope?
Yes.
It is decreasing. So here the slope is 0.
Yes.
Okay. So the slope of total utility is called marginal utility. It is, we have to draw a tangent on every point in order to find its slope. You will see it is becoming flatter and flatter. Clear? Now draw the marginal utility in the lower diagram. Here I am taking quantity, here I am taking marginal utility.
Decreasing exponentially.
Yes. Here the marginal utility is going to be 0. Before this marginal utility was positive, and after it marginal utility is going to be negative. For the first unit, marginal utility is higher, that is 10. For the second unit, marginal utility is 8. If we add them up, we get the total utility. And from here to here, we get what? The slope of the total utility will be called the marginal utility. Clear? So you can see over here, when total utility is increasing, marginal utility is positive. When total utility is increasing, so marginal utility is positive value, although it is decreasing. Isn't it?
Yes.
Now see, when total utility is maximum, its marginal utility will be 0. And when total utility starts decreasing, so what happens? Total utility is falling, so marginal utility will become negative. Clear? So this can be the outcome of this law, that when we talk about every successive units of one product consumed, then its total utility is increasing, but marginal utility of every successive unit will be lower than the previous unit. Follow my point?
Yes.
Okay, now I ask you a question. What is my question? Where is the consumer equilibrium in this case? Do we have any consumer equilibrium point? Janet. Where is the consumer equilibrium? Where is the consumer equilibrium? You don't. You are sleeping right now. Okay. We haven't shown the price of the commodity consumed. Is there any price given in this law? This is only telling us when the quantity is changing, how total and marginal utilities are changing. Consumer equilibrium. If I say a consumer consumes a commodity in the first unit, the marginal utility he is deriving, that is more than the price paid, what do you say? The consumer will buy an extra unit. Like if we buy a commodity and we see we are getting more satisfaction than the price paid, I am paying 50 rupees to get a commodity, but whatever the satisfaction I am getting after consuming it, that is more than the 50 rupees. So what will happen? I will buy an extra unit. But sometimes it happens, if we pay a price, but the marginal utility I am gaining that is lower than the price paid, so consumer will not buy the extra unit, because he or she will think that the satisfaction derived from this commodity is lower than the price paid. It will decrease its consumption. Therefore, the equilibrium will be the point when marginal utility equals to the price. Okay? So I say over here, suppose here this is the marginal utility. Now I am taking price over here. If price is going to be $4, here for the first unit, his marginal utility is more than the price paid. So consumer will move on to SI unit. Will buy an SI. Suppose I say on him, this is the $4 price. Now I am taking price as well. So first unit is giving more marginal utility than the price paid. If you remember, we studied consumer surplus in our AS. Consumer was getting more satisfaction than the price paid. His willingness to pay can be $10, but actually he pays $4. So he or she is enjoying what? Consumer surplus in this case. This is the marginal consumer surplus. Okay. Now come towards the second unit. Again, marginal utility is going to be higher than the price of the product. Consumer is getting more satisfaction, and same is the case with the third unit. But what happens to this unit? For the fourth unit, you can see marginal utility and price are equal now. Clear? So this can be the equilibrium point where marginal utility is equal to the price. If price remains same, now the price is going to be higher than the marginal utility. Do you think consumer will buy this extra unit?
No.
So after this point, consumer is not buying it until unless this price goes down.
Yes.
Clear? So total consumer surplus can be defined. Okay, you can see what is the total consumer surplus. Okay, this is the area under the demand curve, and whatever the surplus was enjoyed by the consumer till the equilibrium point. Clear or not?
Yes.
So we say consumer will be in equilibrium when price equals to marginal utility. Can I say this marginal utility line is also showing the demand curve of the consumer?
Yes.
This is what I wanted to say. When marginal utility is higher than the price paid, consumer will buy more. It means price is lower, so quantity will increase. And when price is higher than the marginal utility gained by the consumer, consumer will buy less. As price is higher, so he has to decrease the quantity consumed. Therefore, the demand curve is, we are not moving to this negative part. We can see the demand curve is the marginal utility of the consumer basically. And in our previous chapter, we said that marginal private benefit in case of externality. So marginal utility and marginal private benefit, one and the same thing. So consumer will buy an extra unit when marginal utility is higher than the price, and he will be in equilibrium where price equals to marginal utility. Therefore, the demand curve of a single good will be having downward slope, like the demand we studied in our AS lemma. Now we are explaining the same downward sloping demand curve by using the approach of marginal utility instead of quantity and price only. So when other factors are kept constant, so the demand of a normal good will be sloping downward. Clear or not?
Clear.
Is it sufficient? Should
Yes.
I go ahead for second law? No?
Sufficient.
Okay, by Monday inshallah.
Yes.